I don't know how we got to a point where you go and do the surgery, right? And then something happens, and then you're trying to call your doctor, but then the doctor has blocked your number. Have I ever considered doing it? So if you're like me and you flash back to when you were growing up, watching TV stations like watching Botched, watching Dr. Terry trying to correct broken plastic surgeries of women, you think that, oh, Americans are wild, they are really crazy people. Why are they doing all of this? But fast forward to 2026, we now have this in Lagos. Like there's a craze to look a particular way, to have a particular body shape, body type, skin color, and all of that. And now you'll be wondering that, I mean, why is this so? Why are we changing how we look to fit into a certain aesthetic, to fit into what the algorithm is telling us that this is perfect, right? What you have is not good enough. Try and look this way because you want to get some certain things. Today's vlog is what I'm tagging 20 something bant as a 20 something year old, sharing all my experiences and thoughts, as a 20-year-old living in Nigeria. And today's topic, I'll be talking about the BBLification of Nigerian women. Basically, who I started with, how we are beginning to look like what the algorithm is presenting to us. How you open your Instagram Explore and then you see, oh, I like this body type. Can I have it? What will I do to have it? And how it's beginning to shape a gradual body dysmorphia amongst young people, and how eventually we start to pass down this narrative to the younger generation. So to start with, what is a BBL? A BBL is basically a Brazilian butt lift. Started with Americans and Europeans wanting to look like Brazilian women. Brazilian women had this, or yeah, they had this sort of accentuated body figure, a big backside, slim waist, big at the top. The what's the word for it now? The figure eight, right? They wanted to look that way, and we now see, because of popular media, I mean, it blew up so much, the Kim Kardashians and all of that. Everybody wants to look in a certain way because it has been sold to us that this is the best way to look. And now Lagos is in the charts. Everybody wants to have big bum bum, right? Big bum bum that doesn't matter in heaven. Everybody wants to have big bum bum. But we fail to realize that these Brazilians that they are trying to copy actually have, some of them actually have the African DNA in them. So we are the original blueprints. We are what is being copied. So you are trying to buy back your own DNA in form of a syringe, right? And why it's more painful is people are now stepping away from, even if you want to do it right, go and do it with the, or what's the word for it now, a board certified surgeon, right? Somebody who has been accredited, somebody who has done this thing so many times. And I mean, basically a 99% success rate if possible. But what we now have is, you see people people that could not even pass the qualification exam in the US, people who have been deported, people who have seen that, oh, this person cannot make it in this field, or is not good in this field, or has not learned the prerequisites, and then they send themselves back to Nigeria, open up a clinic in something that looks like an apartment, and you see Lagos girls running there going to inject themselves in the bomb. And we now have, it's almost as though every other year you now hear that a Lagos girl has died, or a popular influencer has died, a popular Snapchat influencer has died. I don't know how we got to a point where you go and do the surgery, right? And then something happens, and then you're trying to call your doctor, but then the doctor has blocked your number. All the due process, all the aftercare procedures, nothing was done. You just do the surgery to look good. Forget about what happens later. You forget about, oh, there's a 3 months post up care that you're meant to do. You forget about all of that, and then it gets infected, you get necrosis, the fat begins to die, and eventually fall into something as dangerous as sepsis, and that's the end. Post RIP, move on to the next person. 1 year after, we're beginning to cry. Somebody else has fallen into the hands of that same doctor. So if you have the money, why not just take your time and go to the doctor? And the only time that I as a person would ever say, oh, I support plastic surgery, is Say maybe you had an accident, right? Maybe you were born with some sort of deformity and then you're trying to fix it. Not because when you pick up your phone, you go on TikTok and TikTok is telling you that if you are 5'3" or if you are 6'4", check out what your weight would be like. So you go on TikTok, you search, oh, I'm 5'3". What would I look like if I was 85 kg? And then you don't feel comfortable with that. And then you go ahead and then do a plastic surgery. I feel like that's quite baseless. And I say it's baseless because, take for example, you're an under 23-year-old influencer. You already term yourself as being big. You go ahead and you do the surgery. You reduce your tummy, get a snatched waist, you pull out fats from your tummy, you inject in your hips, forgetting that it's a dangerous surgery, right? Because you were fat. Yeah, because you were fat, you feel fat shamed. You take out of all of those stuff, and then you fill your body with fat. Then a few months down the line, you've forgotten that you did not get that body because you were working out. Your BBL is not sustainable. 6 months, 3 months, you've recovered, but then you discover that you are still getting fuller and fuller and fuller and fuller. What do? You don't go back to working out. Next thing that you do is to go back to another surgeon who is promising you a giveaway surgery just so that you can influence force and then you get fat removed again. So what happens if down the line another 6 months the fat now comes back up? What are you going to do? Go for another promo surgery again? And that's how we keep promoting strange beauty standards. For me, I would say that I don't really blame a number of the ladies that do this stuff, right? I mean, society is already feeding us rubbish. A good number of these doctors are already trying to basically make money, get fame, and then influencers are pushing it. But the next set of people that we are missing out and we forget to fault in pushing this is the corporate world. And why do I say the corporate world? The corporate world is funding this in a way that you would see that you can't get some certain roles, especially client facing roles or lifestyle roles or some front desk job. If you don't look a certain way, if you don't fit into some certain aesthetic, you don't have some, like, you're not of a certain height or a certain body type or a certain skin color. And it's crazy because it's not even just the certain world that wants you to have this soft look. You get to some churches and they'll be like, oh, media team, you can't post this picture because this person does not look a certain way. Is actually quite crazy. So for me, I don't think that I would not really fault people for, I mean, going ahead to do this. So here's the hard pill that nobody wants to swallow. If you're going to get a BBL, you should know that BBL is not a one and done deal. Like I was saying, you start the BBL at a certain point. You do not do anything to even try to keep the body, and then you feel like the next solution is to get another BBL. I mean, that's one thing, that your lifestyle has not changed, your feeding pattern has not changed, your workout routine has not changed, and then you're getting the BBL or the aftermath of the BBL. None of those things are changing. You don't have any plans to change it. That's one. The second part that people are missing is, as women, most people will advise that if you're going to get a BBL, why not wait till you're 30? Why are you under 23 and you're running a BBL? It does not make any practical sense. You've not decided, oh, you know what, I'm going to get married, or you know what, I'm going to have children, or your body has not even had a chance to say, let your metabolism settle, let your body get used to how it works, right? Your body has not fully formed, and then you are going to get a BBL. So what happens when you're 25 and then something switches up in your body, and then you now have to start all over again, and then you now get into a part of trying to fix what you have already fixed. And this is what we are terming as body dysmorphia. And we are now in a world where we are passing this thing to the younger generation. You now see children with parents trying to snatch their wigs, trying to fit them into corsets, trying to put them in frontals, put them into certain looks, and you begin to teach these children or teach the younger generation that, I mean, it's not like being natural is not pretty enough, right? So what happens when puberty eventually sets in? What are they going to do? Yeah, teaching a generation to look a certain way before they even get on the internet. That's really crazy. Another crazy thing with BBL is you see these influencers, right? Why not just tell us that, oh, I did my body, or oh, I got a slimming tea. You'll be telling us that it's exercise, especially all these actors and actresses. You'll be telling us that it's exercise that gave you your figure eight. We know what you are. Before I end this video, I just want to say that the most important thing in all of this is regulation. That system, that whole plastic surgery, cosmetic surgery industry actually needs to be regulated. We cannot be having deported doctors coming to Nigeria and then trying to do plastic surgery, or people that are going to learn how to inject Botox and fillers as apprentices. Somebody will just wake up one day and go, oh, I'm going to the beauty industry, and then you go to some clinic and then you learn how to inject Botox, inject fillers into people, and it starts with the little thing, trying to change your lip color with microblading, micro shading your eyebrows and all of that stuff, with people who are not properly trained. And the skin is basically the largest organ in your body. So why are you putting yourself through all of this? So that whole industry needs to be regulated. And don't forget that trends will change, right? At one point in the early 2000s, it was like, oh, slim, we need slim ladies, ladies that look like they've not eaten, right? People are already battling with eating disorders, and now we have come to say, oh, ladies should be thick, they should have some certain figure. What guarantees you that in the next 2 years after you have done your BBL, it's not going to change? For somebody that you are using your life savings to do BBL, how will you get another surgery? So we really need to change all of that. So before you go ahead and get a BBL, you should make sure that, I mean, is it for you, or is it to satisfy the trend? Are you doing it because you want to fit into an algorithm aesthetics? So what do you guys think? Is it just me? Am I imagining things? Or, I mean, does everybody now have big bum and Lagos? Would you consider doing a BBL? Have you ever considered it? Or what do you think about people who get BBL? Let me know. As I like to say, it's over funny for your day. Bye guys.